have sought happiness. They seek for happiness many, many ways. We all want to be happy. We all want to feel good. We all want to have freedom of choice. So the devil, he comes to us. He says, hey, look at this sin. You know, he makes it all beautiful, pretty. He doesn't come and show you sin, someone who's eaten up by cancer because of their sin. He doesn't show you sin, someone who has broken life, broken home. He shows you sin, the most beautiful person that he can show you. Makes it look so alluring. Makes it look so appetizing. And we say, man, if I could partake of that, if I could do that, look how happy I would be. But if we do that, look what happens when sin enters into our lives. Our lives are no longer clear, pure as it once were. It becomes cloudy, it becomes dark because of sin. And see, that once was pure, that once was what God had intended for us to be, now we find it's all clouded and dark. And so we need a way to make our life clear. We need a way to make our life happy again. So we try many ways. Many people thought education would do it. Man, if I was the smartest person in the world, that would make it. That would make me happy. Now, education is very important. We need to be as smart as we can be. I don't think God wants us to be a bunch of dummies, do you? That's why we need to work in school. But just education by itself, we see, doesn't do it. Doesn't clear it up. The others say, boy, if I was rich, that would do it. I could be happy if I had $1 million. Just think what I could do with $1 million. If I had $1 million, I could be happy. So we strive for money. We work, and see that'll make us happy. But did you know some of the most richest people in the world are some of the most unhappy people that ever lived? My mind keeps going back to Howard Hughes and the way he died, a recluse. No one was around him, associated with very few people, had all the money in the world, not so, but yet he was unhappy. Others say if I was famous, if I could just have my name up in lights, if people would know me, man, if I could win a trophy, be #1, if I was famous, have people to recognize me when I go down the street, have people to know my name, surely that would make me happy. That would make me happy. But we can look to the world and we see some people who, by the world's standards, are some of the most famous people there are. But yet, we look at them and they're miserable. Drugs, alcohol, miserable. Because they couldn't find happiness in fame. Fame not be happiness. Others say, well, surely power would make me happy. If I could be the boss, if I could be the one to tell everybody else what to do, then I'd be happy. But as we see, power does not bring happiness. As you study through the ages of history, some of the most miserable, most unhappy people in the world were kings and rulers. Their lives were full of misery. But I have good news. There is a source of happiness. Jesus Christ, years ago, some 2,000 years ago, died upon the cross. And as he gave his life on the cross, he brought about happiness to you and me. But you know, my chemical words. It'll work. If it doesn't work, That still doesn't change the power of Jesus Christ. Because he died on the cross for us. But there's something about it that we have to do. We have to ask Jesus to come into our life. Well, I'm bound to lose this night. I got spilled out. But that's all right. We'll still like to say Jesus, he produces, get clear up a minute when I get through it. Let's illustrate it this way. I have another way. They all can't be one. Let's do it like this. How much sin does it take to contaminate life? How much sin? Big sin? Murder? Robbery? How much does it take to contaminate life? God created us clear, pure. But yet we have here liquid that's clear. It looks innocent. It looks just as clear as this one. It's in a white bottle, which makes it look a little white. But it looks just as clear as the water I have in here. But let's put a couple of drops in here and see what happens. Just only a couple. Now that it's clean, clear, pure, look at it now. I didn't put a whole lot, did I? See, it doesn't take a lot of sin. It just takes sin to contaminate our life and to cause our lives no longer be pure, clean, and holy. But Jesus did die on the cross. And there on the cross, he gave his life. There he gave his blood for us, for you, for me. He paid for the salvation. It's there. It's ready for us. It's already paid for. And there is the means of making our lives clear, making our lives pure. But we have to have Jesus to come into our life. I can leave this test tube standing over here and this one over here. Nothing's going to happen. No reaction will ever happen. But let's look and see what happens when I have Jesus come into the life. You see, when Jesus comes into our life is restored.